Hi, I'm James McGuire, and on today's eSpeaks, we're taking a look at low-code software, which has generated a lot of buzz over the last year. We'll talk about how low-code has disrupted the market. To discuss that, I'm joined by Vikram Walecha, CTO, ServiceNow at IBM. Vikram, very good to have you with us today.
Hey, James, thank you so much for having me. Really looking forward to the conversation.
Clearly, low-code has created a lot of buzz in the last year. I'd say like the last 1 or 2 years, I've heard so much more about low-code. What's going on as you see it? As you survey the market for low code, what trends are driving the low code market? And how is low code disrupting the market?
Sure, James. So today, the high interest in the LC technology, we believe is driven by several factors. And it's pervasive as well. You're looking at global market volatility, incessant cost pressures, there's evolving customer and consumer demands, newer ways of working that are being cultivated within the enterprises, talent wars, dearth of skilled resources. And what we realized in the wake of pandemic is uncertainty is the new normal. And it actually demands businesses to adapt and come up with newer business models in an accelerated fashion. So it's essentially the agility as well as the ability for the business to pivot in case of disruptions is what we believe is pushing enterprises to adopt the low code, no code architectures. And if I have to double click on some of these drivers, one, as I mentioned, it's the market change and the new opportunities that are getting surfaced. So organizations and enterprises would need to really create these new digital initiatives, come up with new products and services to target the changing needs of the customer. So low code gives them that platform.
Mhm.
Also, to add to the challenges, it's the increasing complex application architectures that have emerged to support the digital business as well as cloud native strategies.
Mhm.
And what we are seeing is it's the digital business transformation. It's radically getting outpaced, uh, and the capabilities and the staffing needs are not there. And then hiring and training and supporting and bringing in those pro developers, it can be an expensive endeavor. So that's another reason why we are seeing low code has emerged as a potential tool that can really accelerate that business transformation, help them scale in a cost effective manner. Apart from that, the third lever that we are and the trend we are witnessing is the business technologists as well as the product owners that are sitting within the business units. They have the best insights on the persona needs, be it internal personas or external customer persona.
Mhm.
And therefore, they are the best judge in designing and then building these platforms. And LC platform, as you are able to abstract and hide the underlying complexity while we are designing these modern softwares. It empowers those non-IT experts and part-time developers to really build these applications in a faster manner. And then ultimately, most of these low-code technologies, they are built for the cloud, subscription-based models. So it I mean, you essentially get that native cloud architecture elasticity, and combined with total cost of acquisition is pretty low as well. So I mean, these are some of the factors that we're witnessing that's really prompting the enterprises to explore the low code market.
Mhm. Interesting about low code, it's in that, it enables people who are not necessarily professional software developers to create applications. So I have this image of all these, business managers and non-IT staffers, maybe even some
Yeah.
sales folks, doing some coding using these low-code platforms. That feels like it would be a very disruptive concept. In that, in previous times, you needed to really be a software developer to be, writing applications. Now with low-code, all sorts of people are going to be adding to and tweaking applications. That does feel like a pretty disruptive concept.
Exactly. I mean, it's the accessibility, right? I mean, lower barriers to entry, uh, uh, because you just need. It's as simple as finding the right platform and the right tools, and then once you empower your business technologists, these business users within your organization, and give them that effective platform which has built-in tutorials, intuitive controls, and user support options, then you can just kickstart your journey, and then you can have your low code projects up and running. So To your point, accessibility is one of the reasons why we are seeing the push, and its barriers to entry are extremely low. You can quickly enable and empower your business users to go out there and then create and build your own apps.
Mhm. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of companies that are already on board with low code, and a lot more companies that want to get on board with low code. It's not always simple and easy necessarily, but what advice
Yeah.
do you give to companies that want to do more with low code? And I guess as on a related question, I'm imagining all these sales reps and some business folks who want to get on board with low code, and they're still maybe a little mystified. Sure, it's low code, but that doesn't mean they don't have a background in coding. And so, are some of them confused when they first start this process?
Yeah, so let me address your first question. It's
Please.
actually
I'm asking two questions at once, which is not fair, but I'm doing it anyways. Thank you, Vikram.
No, that's fine. So the first one was all around if there are enterprises, if they want to embark on this journey, what's advice do we have? So it's
Yes.
actually dependent on the maturity of the organization in terms of adoption of low code products, right? There are enterprises who are just starting this off, and as I said, accessibility as well as barriers to entry are low. So it's all about finding the right platform and go out there and then kick off the build of these applications. What we suggest for such enterprises who are in the nascent stages of adopting this mindset is to start with invest in apps which are front end, which are low risk applications, which can give you greater return on investments. Now, as over time, one thing that we have seen is with our enterprises, at some point in time, you'll see application sprawl. And
Hmm.
with lack of oversight, there are several problems that might surface with security, with integrations, compliance, and more. So what you may need to do is build that low-code governance, which implements policy and technology constraints to limit and manage the growth of these applications, and then provide the tech standards, obviously with the intent to assure that there is resiliency, and then folks are following that governance layer, and you're not introducing lot of technical debt. You're not exposing the data. Ultimately, it's all about securing your brand image as well by a disruptive event because the application was not designed as per the best practices,
Hmm.
right? Once you have that governance in place, what we are suggesting is then it's the time to run those sophisticated, important processes that are core part of your business. So that's around the processes and the maturity that you take.
Hmm.
The second aspect is around the org structure as well. Uh, I was talking to one of the automation leaders in manufacturing. What they have done is they have operationalized a center of excellence. Now, if you look at Gartner, they call it as a fusion team. We call it as an enterprise orchestration team. It essentially includes business leaders from outside the IT. At the same time, you get these IT specialists as well as citizen developers
Hmm.
and SMEs from other functions such as enterprise architecture, security, compliance, and they are responsible for establishing these governance standards and procedures. They are responsible for making sure that the applications that are getting built using low code, they are aligned to the business strategy as well.
Hmm.
Responsible for demand management, and they get involved into several stages of the app release. So I mean, mature organizations have already started to formulate such structures, and we would see that with the right level of governance, you can really scale your low code initiatives.
Hmm.
And your second question, James, it was around there might be some confusion because it's low code, no code, right?
Right.
From pro developers to business technologists, as we may call. We do see that there is a collaboration that you need to foster.
Mm.
The pro development is not going anywhere.
Right.
It'll still be there for some of the complex applications, complex transactions. You'll still need scripting capabilities, coding capabilities. Also, if you see, we don't believe that low code and no code will just revolutionarily replace the entire application portfolio.
No, there's no way, to be sure. Yeah.
And it's essentially because of the investments the enterprises have done as well. There's a lot of legacy and there's a lot of investments done into building those ERPs and complex applications. And
Hmm.
that's where we believe IT will have a stronghold as well. One, from having the right governance in place, but when these low code, no code apps are operationalized, and then as you scale, you'll need to integrate those low code apps as well into your IT estate.
Hmm.
So that integration with the legacy would obviously demand some pro development skills as well, and that's where we see that IT and business users synergy would get operationalized by enterprises.
Hmm. No, it would be a cooperation for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the actual the product offering. So how is the ServiceNow IBM combination addressing the low code needs of its clients? What's the advantage there?
Yeah, so Gartner has estimated that by 2024, a low-code development will actually account for 2/3 of the enterprise software development.
Oh, that
And
much? That's pretty surprising. Actually, 2/3 will be done by non-professional developers.
it's a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
And then and from IBM perspective, we definitely want to tap onto that market. And then, although there are several players operating in the same space, you have ServiceNow, Salesforce, you have Microsoft Power, Appian, Pega, etc.
Hmm.
But we believe that ServiceNow is going to be that platform that would revolutionize that space. It's actually the leader in low code, no code, leader in building app engine, building custom maps using the app engine capabilities.
Hmm.
And why we believe ServiceNow is that platform is one, because of the market penetration in purpose-built native workflows that are addressing the enterprise needs. Any of the C-level persona, be it CIO, you have an IT workflow. CHRO, you have an HR workflow. You have global business services workflows addressing the procurement, supply chain, etc. needs. And then these workflows are built on top of the platform. And that's where, and then if you look at the strategy from ServiceNow as well over the years with several acquisition and then build off some native capabilities, there is convergence that's happening, convergence of different technologies. And then they are playing in two different offerings. So first one is the creative workflows slash app engine that actually enables the development team to build powerful apps
Hmm.
and then automate the processes in hours, not weeks and months.
Hmm.
And then obviously it has business logic, workflow capabilities, data services, reporting analytics. And then on top, you can build these amazing consumer grade experiences as well, addressing different personas using the UI UX framework.
Hmm.
The other important offering is the hyper automation,
Hmm.
right? So how you are able to build these cross enterprise workflows and then also connect the legacy through one single platform by automating mundane and repetitive tasks. And that's where ServiceNow really excels at. And then over the years with acquisitions, there is RPA, robotic process automation that's embedded part of the platform itself. There is process optimization capabilities. So as you're digitizing those processes, you are able to figure out what are the inefficiencies so that you can remediate and then quickly create next best workflow.
Hmm.
And then with strong integration capabilities, you are able to connect the systems as well.
Hmm.
And since you asked about IBM as well, from our perspective, we have the platform, but what we have done is we bring in domain and the industry expertise as well as certain assets that we have verticalized addressing specific industry needs.
Hmm.
So the one unique offering that we came up with just last year, uh, Q4, it was the ERP modernization, wherein we leverage the power of Celonis to mine digital footprints of processes. We have started off with procure to pay as one of the process. We understand the bottlenecks, identify opportunities for increment value, and then subsequently by leveraging the creator workflow slash app engine, which is a low-code framework. We create wrappers on top of the complex ERPs.
Mhm.
So we have built some of those solutions, and now we are extending them to power solutions for HR, procurement, supply chain optimization, to name the few. So I mean, yeah, ServiceNow, it's we are one of the global elite partners with ServiceNow. ServiceNow is one of that strategic platform for us that we are deeply investing in, and the go forward strategy is to verticalize our solution using the creator workflows.
Mhm. Well, I think the big question is, the future of low code in the enterprise. And I think the statistic you mentioned was really interesting about 2/3 of application development will be done with low code. And it certainly, as you mentioned, it doesn't mean the professional developers are going to anywhere. We certainly need
Yeah.
those individuals, no doubt about it. I think the growth almost suggests it indicates the amount of total software development we'll be doing. That needs to continue to explode in the years ahead, which is one of the reasons I think low code will grow.
Yeah.
What do you see as the future of low code in enterprise? What are some milestones you see happening?
Yeah, we believe that the low code market will evolve through distinct phases over the next couple of years.
Okay.
And then the key milestones it will navigate through, uh, it will influence technology market as well as product service characteristics. So at a high level, right, we'll continue to see investments in citizens development, democratization will continue to happen, right?
Mhm.
Employees who report outside of IT departments, the with some tech and analytics background, they would continue to build applications. They'll automate task level. Task level automation would be like low hanging fruit, and then applications that are end user facing and low risk. Then there would be a wave. In fact, it has already kicked in, and we are seeing a lot of traction in that space is the hyper automation, which would we believe would be part of the low code application platform revolution itself.
Mhm.
It's essentially orchestrated use of multiple technologies platforms that would ultimately integrate to uh, to remove the functional and process silos, and will be responsible for augmenting those business processes. And those platforms could be low code application platform, multi experience development platform that enables you to create the omni channel engagement through portals, conversational UIs such as virtual agent, chatbots, voice bots, etc. Uh, then robotic process automation, business process automation would be another thing, and then the integration platform as a service platforms, because then
Mhm.
you are able to connect the legacy with the modern application landscape. So we would witness the convergence happening in the platform, and then enterprises would tend to pivot towards platforms who can offer all of these solutions as part of one single unified platform itself.
Mhm.
Also, we will see that AI ML would be infused into each and everything that we do in the future. It could be uh, next best action or decision tree, all automated through AI, new workflows getting created based on the data insights that are captured by the AI itself, and then autonomous workflows creation. I think
Mhm.
this is something that we'll continue to see in the future. Uh, and then still there would be certain platforms which are best at what they do. So we don't believe that in the near future everything would be replaced in one single platform. So you'll still need to have some connectors and adapters to these platforms. To give you an example, could be a low code platform connected to Adobe XD, so that with these connectors, you are able to enable your digital product teams, the designers, to design processes and then import designs and interactions and branding and themes into
Mhm.
the low code tool itself. I think I briefly talked about AI for next best actions, for quality control, having an AI bot who can really understand that use case and the context, and then can take the next best action.
Mhm.
So that's around the development that we would see in the tech space. Uh, Also, from overall business strategy standpoint, one thing that we all recognize is enterprises and organizations, they are looking for agility, but at the same time, resiliency is important to them.
Mhm.
And they want to make sure that they are able to adapt and pivot if in case there are market dynamics changes or some disruption is happening in the market, or they want to penetrate into a newer market or newer industry altogether. So how would they do so? How can they be nimble? Today, what we are seeing is the application portfolio is often bloated. It's difficult to change.
Hmm.
Now, the future strategy for the organizations would be to modernize their application portfolio in such a way that it's modular and can adapt to the changing needs.
Mhm.
The low code platforms, they do offer that extensibility, but then it's not that modular as the enterprises demand. So in the near future, I think we'll see that these low code platform will introduce some components that can be assembled, reassembled, and extended as things in business priorities change.
Mhm.
So I mean, these are some of the trends that we would witness in the near future in the low code market. So democratization will continue to happen. There'll be insistent focus on hyper automation, and then uh, for adaptability, to have that adaptability, there would be some form of creation of modular architectures
Mhm.
so that you can create a composable enterprise.
Yeah, the modular piece seems like it's really important in terms of moving the process much faster. And of course, the
Yeah,
democratization is also key. I think it's a mega trend throughout technology, the
yeah.
democratization of IT. Vikram, I think you said it. It's a lot of interesting stuff, and I'm sure the low code it has a very bright future. It's growing rapidly. Hope you come back and talk with us again sometime.
Sure, James, and we are extremely excited about this market. Uh, there's a lot of traction that we are getting from our customers. It's a piece. I mean, it's actually moving at light speed. There are a lot of newer things happening. There's technology disruption, business changing changes, and the overall global disruption is really demanding
Mhm.
newer changes to the tech footprint as well. So extremely excited. For sure, James. I'll take you up on that offer. We're excited to come back and then talk to you about the newer things as they surface.
All right, great. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, James, for having me. Thank you.